Hey, what's up, guys? Christian Brindle here, and I am back with someone doing big time things in the insurance space. I'm joined with someone who is no stranger to our channel, to our Facebook group, to our organization, someone who is a friend of ours, someone who is a speaker at last year's Seven Figure Medicare Agent Summit, someone that will be returning as a speaker at this year's Seven Figure Medicare Agent Summit. I have Shauna Thoresen of Social Waves Media. Man, Shauna, we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things
We
going on in
do.
the Facebook ads world, is there not?
Yes. There is. I always like to say the one thing consistent about Facebook ads is they're always changing.
Yes, that is the truth. That is the truth. So, quickly, just for anybody that might not be familiar with you, talk a little bit about what you do, how what you're an expert in, and talk about Social Waves Media and kind of what that does.
Perfect. All right. So I have been a social media lead generation strategist since 2015 is when I first kind of came into this world. And then in 2022 is when I was first introduced to your space with insurance agents. And I very quickly learned that agents are smart enough and more than capable of running and managing their own Facebook ad campaigns. They just need the right guidance and the right step-by-step process. So in 2022, I launched my course, Insurance Click to Close, which teaches agents to become fully self-sufficient at generating their own exclusive leads, both through meta ads and then also in some organic aspects. And then that's actually how you and I ended up meeting. I think you were probably part of my first like 200 agents that came into the course, I think pretty early on, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't know that, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah, I mean, well, that's an honor. That's an honor, by the way. Yeah, no, I had seen you do a video with someone else, talking about it. I always like to tell people like I'm always watching. I'm watching. I'm in the shadows. I'm watching. But I'm always a big fan of anything I can learn to, upgrade our own marketing internally, right? I do a lot of our marketing internally. I'm doing less and less these days. We have more of a team that helps now with it. But back then I was doing all of our ads and everything like that. And so, I've taken tons of courses. Some of them have been great. Some of them, I didn't really learn much. But yeah, I got in on yours and, I thought it was super, super detailed, user friendly, just easy to follow along in a lot of ways that a lot of them are not. So yeah, no, I loved it. And then I reached out and I was like, hey, how can we work together? How can I do stuff with you? I think you're awesome.
Yes, no, I remember that. And then first meeting you, and then you just have such an energy. I have loved all of the interactions that I've had with you, both us working together and then also watching you teach other agents because you just have an energy of what can I do to help? And if someone's willing to listen and take it, you are just such a huge resource for so many agents. So I appreciate being a part of the Seven Figure Medicare Summit last year, and I'm super excited about this year too.
Well, as am I, and I appreciate you taking the time and coming out and doing it and sharing all your insight. Okay, so the biggest talk in Facebook ad land right now, especially for insurance, is this change in the categories, right? Where you have to utilize the specific categories when you're running insurance, Medicare ads, anything like that. First off, talk about that and what that change means for agents and their ads.
Yeah, this was a really big change that does affect agents in a really big way. It doesn't mean that you're not still going to get fabulous results whenever you approach meta ads with the right targeting or the right ad creative and with the right structure, but it has kind of changed the strategies that currently are working and how to be compliant. So, starting in January of 2025, Meta has declared that insurance is now part of their special ad category. So, to kind of break down what that means, a quick little history lesson. Back when I first started running Facebook ads in 2015, it was just called Facebook ads. It wasn't Meta yet. The old school way, we were it was a skill set to be able to put together the perfect niche audience. So we were layering audiences, excluding interests, and we were trying to make these audiences that were about 1 to 2 million in size. Well, that has changed as we started moving into what's called broad targeting. So, broad targeting, whenever we are having a little bit more of open targeting, that happened for two reasons. One, the algorithm has gotten really smart Over the years, we are gone of the days of having to find the user for our content. The content now finds the user. And then number two, Meta started running into some legal issues. They were almost allowing advertisers to target so niche that it was making people feel uncomfortable. And so that's why in 2019, they created what's called the special ad category. So the purpose of the special ad category is to protect specific demographics and locations from being excluded from offers. So some people would say, well, shouldn't an advertiser be able to pick who they're going to run their ads to? To some degree, but when it comes to housing opportunities, career opportunities, and things of that nature, then maybe you shouldn't be able to specify and exclude certain demographics. So that's when that was brought in, was 2019. And now in 2025, they have decided that insurance is also going to fall under this category. And what it basically means is whenever you're building out your campaign, at the very base of the campaign level, you have to declare that you're part of insurance, you're a special ad category. And then it does limit the targeting options that you actually have whenever you're creating the audience to target, which makes the ad creatives that you're going to be putting out there even more important because that's going to do the targeting for you.
Yeah, which is such a big change. So when you're talking about limiting the ability to target a specific audience, what type of limitations are we talking about?
Good question. So I will tell you in 2023, Facebook introduced something that was called Advantage Plus targeting, A plus targeting. And it was a fancy way of saying, let us do whatever the heck we want. So anything that you inputted in the ad set, if you were choosing Advantage Plus targeting, you chose 64 plus, you chose specific interest. You were actually just giving suggestions to the algorithm and then still letting it do its thing. So I recently just did an ad audit for a very large group that does final expense specifically. They're moving into the Medicare and the ACA space. And when I did their ad audit, there were a lot of things that they could improve upon, but they were still getting some results. And they were running it off of a dummy page with a very generic AI created ad. And when I went into their audience targeting, they thought that they were targeting 60 plus, but they were using Advantage Plus targeting. And I can tell you when I broke down their ads, it still was mostly being served to a senior population. So even then, before declaring a special ad category with the open targeting, the algorithm figured out these are the people that are responding well to these ads and very quickly shifted in that direction. So whenever it comes into us, we can still choose the state. So you can stick to just targeting the states you're licensed in. You can target the city plus 15-mile radius. You can add some specific interest. There is still, as of right now, there is insurance as an interest. There's life insurance as an interest. There is investments. There's entrepreneurship. There's some sneaky things if you're wanting to target a specific income demographic, like you can still target luxury items and luxury travel and some things like that you could throw in there. So that's still there. We can still control where our ads are being served. But what we can't control anymore is we can't choose the gender. So that's a big one. We're very limited in the interest. We can't target zip codes anymore. And then the really big one is we can't dictate the age. It is technically open targeting 18 to 65 plus. But just because we can't see certain demographics on our end does not mean that they're not still at play with the algorithm.
Yeah, which is such a huge game-changing change to really adapt to, right? And make sure that you're nailing the things that need to be corrected, right? To make sure that everything's shown to the right people. So without going too deep into the weeds necessarily, what are some strategies that you're finding to kind of overcome that, right? Like what is the idea for agents to run ads and still be able to show them to the right people? We've been working on it internally. I think we have a pretty good idea of what we need to be doing, but you as the expert, I feel like can articulate it in a better way than I can.
Okay, well, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. So, the biggest takeaway from this, I've got a couple of things, but the biggest one is your ad will do the targeting. I actually just heard some other Facebook marketer that was telling people because it's a broad audience, use broad language because you're going to get in front of a broad group. That's absolutely the opposite of what I would say and is in my experience. You want people to self-qualify or to self say, this is absolutely not for me. I want nothing to do with it. So the algorithm can very quickly see, okay, well, Shauna didn't click on this ad or like it, but this person over here, Mary, she did. Let's go find more Marys. Because at the end of the day, the algorithm wants to match your content in front of the right user. So it's a good user experience. And then also to try to get you that optimization that you're looking for. A lot of agents go into Facebook ads thinking it's the platform's duty to get them what they want. I said I want leads, get me leads. And it's not. It's the platform's duty to give you the opportunity to put your message out there and to try to attract individuals. So if you have the right messaging, your ad is still going to be served to the right demographic. And that's why part of, as you know, being in the course, I'm always keeping my course up to date. This January was a huge update. And part of what I'm including now is plug and play templates for both a lead magnet, so you can be running whenever it's outside of AEP, and also if you're wanting to target T65 leads for that year, and then also some Book Now consult ads for all lines of business. So that's now included to kind of jumpstart agents in already having some really specific messaging that will help get their ads in front of the right audience.
Yeah, and I think that's so important. And I love that you are so singularly focused. I can't talk today on this specific topic and this specific category, right? Because you're so good at keeping everything updated in the program. I've talked about the program a lot on this channel, in the Facebook group, things like that. I'm a believer, I'm a student, I endorse it, of course. And from time to time you do promotions that allow the course to be available for a lower cost, right? Talk about that, if you will. Like when is that going on? What is the savings on it, and how can people find out more about it?
Perfect. Well, the information page that I know you'll have plugged in below is going to
Yes.
have all of the up-to-date information where you can see results, see a video on what's actually inside, you can hear from other agents and so on. But a few times a year, I offer a $500 voucher, which makes the total investment price be $500 less. So this last week of February, we are offering the course. It's normally $14.97, but with a $500 voucher, you can enroll for $9.97. And once you are inside of the course, you get lifetime access. So I have students that enrolled in 2022, and now they've got access to all of these additional resources. They're emailed and told when there's updates. I tell them exactly where to go. So this is a truly living course. It's living, it's breathing, it's always being updated. And it's why I used to jokingly say, I'm never going to have a Facebook ads course. But then here we are, and I absolutely love it. And I love
Yeah.
working with agents too. So it's a good fit.
I love it. Yeah, guys, we're going to put the link to that at the top of the description, actually, in this video. So make sure to go check it out. It's available for super limited time. And Shauna, what I love about Shauna is she has a lot of integrity with these, right? Like when it's available, it's available. When it's not available, it's not available, right? And sometimes places, you reach out to them and be like, "Oh, I missed it by a few days." They'll be like, "Oh, don't tell anyone, but yeah, I'll do it
Yeah.
for you," kind of thing. And so make sure that you get in while you can. And I can say that my feeling on it as a student, that I feel like, I think I might have mentioned this at the beginning of the episode, but I'll go into a little bit more detail. Shauna has done such a good job at making a complex subject simple, and doing such a good job at providing you step-by-step instructions. I think it is much easier, I think, for the average agent to follow along than a lot of courses might be. And I think that's all ultimately a good thing, because more of you are going to be able to execute on it and be able to use ads to grow your business. It seems like that with this update, the ads are still very viable, they're still very relevant, but you just need to make sure that you're using the updated strategies to get proper results.
Yeah, absolutely. And making sure that there's still agencies out there that, whether it's, I will tell you, most of the audits that I do for FMOs, for IMOs, for independent agents, for large agencies, most of them, when they have another marketer set up their ads, they actually have no idea what's happening inside of their ad account. I'm working with this one group that we're trying to get them back control of their account. Right now, they have ads that are running from someone else that set them up for them.
Mm,
And I have said, yeah, okay, let those keep running because they're getting you some results. But in reality, they're collecting information at the form level that is not compliant. And
mm.
you don't want to not be compliant with Facebook. They're very quick to ban you as an advertiser and just not let you back in ever again. So that's kind of the situation that some people in this one group are in. A marketer did a few things wrong, got them all banned. So now they're running ads from this kind of dummy account while they're trying to get reestablished. Don't do that. Like, learn the skill set. If you decide you want to outsource it, then you can, but at least know how to manage the people that are running something that is so vital to the long-term health of your business. So it's something that every agent can learn and should to be able to manage.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think, I've always said with something like running ads or any type of marketing skills, it's always good if you learn it at least somewhat yourself, because when you're working with someone or you hire someone or whatever the case might be to help you with it, you're going to be able to spot what's full of BS, if you will, and what's not, right? Like you're going to be able to really decipher and know, be able to translate a little bit what they're telling you and the information they're feeding you in a sense, be like, well, I know that's not true. I know enough to be dangerous in a sense. And so, yeah, I think that's such great advice. And I've seen a lot of agents have their accounts banned too. And it's, in a lot of cases, you can't get them back. You can't get it
Mhm.
undone. It's just like starting over. And it kind of sucks, like before we merged, we had that happen to Lead Heroes account on Facebook. So we don't have a Lead Heroes Facebook business page for that reason. It kind of sucks. So you want to make sure that you're taking those precautions for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And with this new special ad category, you can't ask for certain information, whether you're running traffic to your website or you're using a meta lead form. You can't ask for location. Like you cannot ask them what state they're in anymore. That option is there, but you have to make the right decision not to. Now, there are ways that you can set up your ad account where when a lead comes in, your CRM knows what state they came from. That I teach that if that's something that you're super want to know whenever they come in, they're in Central Time or they're in Texas or whatever state it is, you can set it up where you collect that on kind of the back end. But you can't ask for that. You can't ask for their age. You can't ask if they're in a relationship or married. These are things that once you get them in your system, you can do whatever you want with. You can warm
Yeah.
them up via email. You can use your CRM. You can say, hey, there's specific plans that are available potentially to your zip code. That's why I need to collect it now. And you can do whatever you want after you get them off of Facebook.
Shauna, one last question I have for you. The program, who is it you feel like is the best designed for? Is it Medicare agents, ACA agents, both, life agents? Who do you feel like this is best catered to?
That's a good question because I've worked really hard to make this course be something that is applicable to all lines of business. I use most of my examples in the Medicare and ACA space, but with this latest update, I also provide a lead magnet for health insurance, for life insurance. And there's a special spot in it where you can actually customize it if you're wanting to push IUL, you're wanting to push hold term, you're wanting to push maybe even annuities. You can customize this lead magnet to bring in leads for life insurance, whichever line of business. And then also having the final expense ad copy. So one thing that I do teach is how to set up your campaigns based on your goals. Are you wanting specific T65 or do you not care if it's T65 or Medicare? Here's how you set it up. Do you want specific final expense and specific Medicare? Well, here's how you set it up to control that. Or do you not care where they come from? It's just the cheapest cost per lead overall, and so on. And then I take from you, you have said that you don't feel this course is the Ozempic for, it's not the Ozempic fix.
Yeah, yes.
It's not. The goal is to transform you into a lead generation expert. I want you to walk away and understand how to digitally market yourself, both in paid ads for the long term and also organically, being able to utilize your website if you have one or just your social media for free.
I love it. Guys, if you've ran ads before but don't understand this new update, which I've heard from a lot of you, or maybe you've never ran ads and you want to learn how to market your business, generate your own leads, highly recommend taking Shauna's program. It's so much more affordable, by the way, than so many of these other programs out there. But I think it provides just as good, if not better, information than any of the ones I've been through. So, highly recommend it. Like I said, we're going to put it down in the description of this video. Again, it's only available for a limited time to end the month of February. And yeah, we hope you guys get into it, and we hope it brings great value to you. Shauna, last thing, and then I know you're busy. I want to respect your time. Remind the people the dates one last time that this promo will be available.
Yes. Okay. So the promo, let me look at my calendar to make sure I'm going to actually say the right dates. So this promo is available until February 28th at 11:59 p.m. It will go live on February 24th and then run that entire week until Friday. When you go to the enrollment page, you're going to see that there's a countdown timer, and that countdown timer is real. When it runs out, it's going to redirect you to the full price page. And as Christian said, I always say my course is for sale, not my integrity. We don't make any exceptions or do anything that's not right out there in front for everyone to be able to see. So now's your time to lock it in. It's going to be sitting there for you, whether you jump into it right now or if you decide that you kind of want to shelve it for a month or two and then circle back over to it.
I love it. Shauna, thank you for your time and your insight as always. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, the only way we're going to know about it is if you like, comment, subscribe, check out Shauna's program. You will not be disappointed if you have any interest in learning about Facebook ads and sharpening your skills, if you will. And we'll be back next time with someone doing big time things in the space. Appreciate you guys for watching, and here's to your guys' massive success in 2025. Thanks, everybody.